everyone, and welcome back to the Raw Dog News channel. And today we're taking a look at the Bandai Ultimate Legends Roronoa Zoro from One Piece. If you remember last time, we recently reviewed this awesome figure from the same lineup of Bandai Ultimate Legends. We reviewed Luffy here, and now we're going to move on to his trusty swordsman, Roronoa Zoro. So looking at the front of the card, of course, right here you get this massive window featuring Zoro, and he actually comes with an accessory, which is his swords. In the back of the card back, you get this picture of Zoro, his name, the One Piece logo, the Ultimate Legends logo, the Bandai logo, and this little picture saying it's superposable. And on the back of the card, you get a bunch of warnings. This picture of Zoro yet again, his name, the Ultimate Legends logo right there in the corner, and yep, a bunch of warnings and labels. But I'll go ahead and get him out of the bubble, and we can go from there. And here's our favorite Moss Head out of the bubble. And as you can see already, they did a fantastic job, just the same as Luffy. They got everything on point, and I'll share, the details right here. Look at the head sculpt. He's very angry. I love that expression on him. The printing is just as good as Luffy. They got everything on point, and then they did not miss anything about his famous green moss head. You even get the little earring right there on the side of his ear. But other than that, the figure does have a ball joint right here at the top of the head, so you get decent movement, side to side, up and down. Looking at the torso, he has that white shirt of his, looks really nice. Not a lot of wrinkles going throughout there, but again, some decent, mobility with this ball joint right here in the near the chest or the upper waist. So again, you do get that like double ball joint. I can kind of feel it right here. It's below the belt, so you do get some mobility here, side to side, back and forward. Look at the arms. Arm goes out right there, does go all the way around. He has an elbow joint that goes up right there. He has a swivel near the shoulder, and then articulation at the wrist, at the hand. He also has his black bandana right here, mounted on his shoulder, and then right here on the other side, arm sticks out right there, goes all the way around, elbow joint, swivel near the shoulder, and then articulation at the wrist, at the hand. And now looking at the waist, I know I said belt, but then immediately after I said that, this is the belly warmer of his, so it's in this green color. This at least has some wrinkles going throughout it. And then there is a tiny peg right here on his hip for placing his katanas. And then looking at the legs, again, he has those exposed like ball joints right here, like Luffy. And he is able to go into a full-on split. He has tons of mobility. He's able to sit down. His legs go back right there. But yeah, very interesting joints, like I mentioned before. He does have a swivel right here on both of his thighs. Zoro, at least, does go into a kneeling position. And then I was seeing right here, again, that same deal with the joints at the knees. But I do like how they're pinless joints, and they do sort of go underneath the pants, so that's really cool, hiding that joint. And lastly, looking at the boots, he has these huge black boots right here. The boots do point down, point up, and there is rock wrinkles, so he has some cool action poses with him. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Zoro does come with an accessory, which are his katanas. Look at the katanas. They do not come out, unfortunately, but still a really cool addition to the figurine. Of course, these are, some of the main items that he uses. So these are the original 3 katanas that we see him use. And it's really cool getting to see him, as an accessory for this figurine. And with that little ball joint right here. You just place it in there, and he looks amazing. Really awesome, accessory to go alongside him, and an important one to be exact. So that was an overview of the figure. Again, just like Luffy, they did a really good job, with this figure. The articulation is just as good as Luffy's, and the only thing I would have to say that it's a bit of a bummer is he doesn't have any other accessory to allow him to hold the swords or things like that, seeing that that is the weapon of choice that he uses. But other than that, it's no biggie, especially if you are just using the figure for maybe like a shot or some sort of like photo shoot, things like that. He is really cool. I'm curious to see if we'll get to see the rest of the Straw Hats or other characters within One Piece, within the Ultimate Legends lineup. For sure, I bet they're gonna complete the rest of the East Blue crew. So expect like Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. I bet they'll be coming pretty soon. But yeah, Zoro is a really decent figure, and I highly recommend him. And with that said, I'll go ahead and leave it here and say if you haven't already, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Thanks, guys.